But first off, I want to welcome everyone to our 2022 annual meeting for AAF-Akron. Thank you for coming. There are a couple people I want to give shout outs to early on here. Do we have any past presidents in the room? Yeah, Cecilia, you are also a past president.
Yeah, Cecilia.
Thank you to our past presidents for showing up, and past board members, everyone else. And also Amanda DeHart is from National, but she is working remotely, living in Cleveland now, so hopefully we get to see her face more often. But also have some people to say thank you to for helping us put this on tonight. First off, Jacob Scott, who has been wandering around with a camera. I'm sure you have seen him. He also did the design work for the Penny Award, which was incredible. So he did all the design work and also designed the trophy that we'll be giving out tonight. Right, I was like, I'll start applause. I don't know. Monsters Unlimited, Patrick Jebber, who, I was like, I don't know where he...
Where are you, Patrick?
I was like, I saw him. Thank you to them. They did the Penny Award video that you will see later this evening. Very big thank you to the delicious food from Big Ui's. And also, we did get confirmation they will be at the American Advertising Awards again this year to defend their advertising crown. So listen, if that's not reason enough to get your tickets early, often, get many. And Red Point Digital, Eric is in the back recording this for us. So I assume I can give it to everyone I know as a Christmas present this year, and they can just listen to me talk. But we already thanked past presidents. We also have our board of directors that we can't do this without. That's me. My name is Brianna. I'm the president and membership chair. It's always weird to just put a picture of your own face on a slide and be like, applaud. My day job is I work at Print Entertainment Group, which is across the street from here. I always think it's important to remind everyone that our board does all have day jobs. This is a completely volunteer, unpaid role that all these people selflessly, not selfishly, I do it selfishly, selflessly volunteer their time, but they do all have one, sometimes two jobs that they are doing in addition to this, so it's very important to recognize that. Garrick Black, who you've seen on the mic already, and you will see again later. He is our vice president and website chair, and is the current executive creative director of Noir Creative. JD Dumeyer is our American Advertising Awards chair. He's sitting up here in a banana shirt and hat. JD is a senior exhibit designer for Formatech and also owns his own agency as well. Matt Hogan, also in the front, communications chair. He's digital media account manager at Klein & Associates. David Flynn. I was like, oh, he's hiding behind a pillar. I see you. Dave is our programs chair. He is a professor over at UA and also runs Dave Flynn Design. Michael Ponticus, who cannot be here tonight, but he is our education chair. He is a professor at Youngstown University, and also owns, I can never say his name backwards well enough to say his design company, but that's what it is, it's his last name backwards. Yeah, right? Right? And the one and only Cecilia Sabeda. Yes, extra applause for Cecilia. Cecilia is our executive director. We call her EB. I'll let you figure out what the B stands for. But she is our wrangler, our head honcho, my saving grace, my rock, who without her, things are not possible. Literally. And she owns Minx Design. So, I know that some people here don't really come to a lot of things, may not know exactly what AAF is in general, so I'm going to give a brief recap on what the organization is as a whole before I kind of dive into what we do locally as a chapter. So the way that breaks down is that it is a national organization. So by joining AAF-Akron, you are automatically a member of AAF National. Basically then it breaks down into like regions and most importantly districts. So Akron is a member of District 5. So that puts us in with Cleveland, Columbus, Cincinnati, Toledo, Dayton, Lexington, Louisville, and West Virginia. So we're basically all of Ohio, West Virginia, and Kentucky. So whenever, you know, we do things like we have district conferences and things like that, those are kind of the clubs that we meet with and connect with and kind of touch base with on a regular basis so that, you know, see what they're doing, what they're up to. Louisville, I'll say, is kind of like our beacon. They are the largest club in our area, and we kind of look to what they're doing and then kind of, you know, pare it down to what we can do. It's nice having clubs nearby, like Cleveland is also close enough, you know, we can partner with them on things. They are coming back to life. For those of you that know their struggles over the last couple years, they have a new president and they're kind of reinventing themselves, and so we're helping them make sure that they stay afloat, which is really important to us as an Akron club, so that we don't become AAF Northeast Ohio. It's mostly for my sanity. So what does AAF do? There's kind of a couple main buckets that AAF National takes on day to day. I'll say that one of the most important ones is the recognize. So obviously the American Advertising Awards that we do locally are also part of a big national American Advertising Awards. That's probably, you know, what people know us best for. It's also kind of what a lot of people know AAF National for, but they also do things like the Mosaic Award, which we'll talk about a little bit later as well, but the Mosaic Award is specific to diversity and multicultural efforts in advertising. Advertising Hall of Achievement is kind of a Hall of Fame type award that they give out nationally. Ovation Awards are what we call Club Sparkle. We have won multiple over the years, but they recognize clubs at the local level doing great work. And Silver Medal, which we gave out last year to Janice, who I know is here. So Silver Medal is also a nationally recognized award that is a lifetime achievement for people who have done amazing work throughout their career in advertising. And that's just, you know, small things. There's so many awards. They also do a lot of government relations. So things like ad taxes and privacy, interest-based marketing. You know, the fact that you can log on and go to one website and then I know where you've been for the next 3 years of your life trying to sell you the same trash can that you bought once. Stuff like that is obviously very important to what we do, and it's important that things like that stay available to us, and it's also important that things like ad tax don't take effect, because right now advertising is not taxed, and AAF has been very key in making sure that that is not the case, because that will obviously impact our agencies, our businesses, and everything all the way down if that becomes the case, and increase prices around the board. So it's very important, and AAF has things like Day on the Hill and all sorts of stuff. They're based in Washington, D.C., and they're very active in government stuff all over the country. We don't personally have a government branch here, just because we're a little smaller, but if you're ever interested in any sort of national government advertising stuff, there is a lot of resources available through AAF National. So what does this mean for you? I know, you're here for you, that's fine. What it means is that you're at American Advertising Awards. If you win here, if you win gold, you're automatically forwarded to districts. If you win gold at districts, you're automatically forwarded to national. That's it. I mean, it's a 3-tier process, which means you have 2 wins and you're up against companies like Nike and all sorts of things that are winning National Addy Awards. If you're ever curious, go on to the National Addy site and you can see all the winners. We're talking like these are major companies that you're up against and that are seeing your wins, which is incredible. And it only takes a couple steps to get there. It's not that big of a hurdle in the long run. Big benefits. So when I'm talking about benefits here, I'm talking about monetary benefits. Located on National's website, there's basically a whole list where you can get discounts on stuff from Office Depot to Hertz to GE appliances. I redid every appliance in my house after we got that discount. Like, not totally on purpose, but it was really good timing. Saved myself some money. Constant Contact, Ad Age, all that kind of stuff. Brooks Brothers, I don't know, do you need that? Maybe you do. But there's a very long list of things that, you know, the money that you put in here to be a member will automatically get that for you. And if you do it right, you can pay for your membership in just those benefits alone. And then beyond that, the benefit is networking and development. So not only do we offer programming and networking and things here, but National also gives the opportunity to, you know, attend a lot of those big award events I'm talking about. Like, if you want to go as a member, you can buy tickets to them, should you choose. A lot of them happen in New York and things like that. But a lot of stuff has been digital over the last couple of years. There are hybrid versions of it, even from other clubs. You know, I follow now clubs across the country, and sometimes I attend their digital events because why not? Because I can. I'm like, hello, AAF Montana. Like, sounds great. I'd love to get your newsletter. But there's definitely just a lot of opportunities, like across the country, both national, district, local. Exploit it, take advantage of it. I mean, most clubs, if you tell them you're part of a local club, they're very willing to talk to you. If you're traveling, if you move, don't move, stay here. It's wonderful here. But if you move, you know, it's wonderful to find those connections and be able to, like, know that there's a national organization that's kind of an umbrella that you can then transfer chapters and kind of get involved somewhere else. This is just a brief plug again for the Mosaic Awards. So the Mosaic Center is kind of the umbrella for all these Mosaic Awards. They offer all sorts of really good programming that is specific to diversity and multicultural things, including, I want to point out, the Apex, which is a multicultural speakers bureau. So that's basically access to a lot of speakers that might be outside of, like, your regular realm of possibilities, you know? So if you're looking for someone different to give a talk about something, like, it's a great resource to go and find someone that you may not have thought of before. So we've talked about you, and I want to talk about us. So what does being a part of AAF mean for us? Other than, as I've discussed with people earlier, Cecilia's jacket is our old logo, and 2 years ago we had to change to this logo, which is not nearly as good. Yeah, I said it. Everyone agrees. Look at Cecilia's jacket, it's beautiful. But, so what this means for us is that we do get support from national all the way down. Not only do we have calls with, when I say we, I mean myself, Cecilia, executive directors, we have access to people on the national board, and then we meet with our district governor and district representatives, you know, once a month or so, just to kind of touch base, see what they're doing, see how they can help us, let them know our kind of pain points and our needs, and then they do their best to kind of help where they can to the best of their ability. Again, they're also all volunteer and have full-time jobs on top of what they do, and are all foolish enough to keep going. Melissa's gonna do it. Kidding. What this also means is that we pay a lot of dues. You guys pay us, and then we turn around and give a lot of that money to national and districts. We basically pay per member, regardless of what tier and level they are on. We pay about $35 per person. And so if you know anything about our current membership rates, it means that for every student member that we have, we make $0 off of them currently. Because all the money that we collect from our student members, we have to turn around and give directly to national. We will come back to that rate later, but over the last 10 years, every student member we've ever had is $0 for us, which is...
What a great benefit.
Oh, it's a great benefit for students, and we love them. Oh, it's not the students, I'm proud of the students. I was like, but we make no money off of that. And you know, as a club that has to be financially self-sufficient, it is a struggle when, you know, kind of a quarter of our members, which usually our students account for, we're currently making no money off of. But, you know, good, bad, ugly, you know, everything in between. It's pros and cons, but we'll come back to the dues later. We'll put a pin in that. Because I want to talk about highlights first. So, Obviously, coming out of a pandemic, all that stuff, we're kind of getting back to what I will call real life, as real as possible for what life is now. But we're back in person. Our Addies were back in, our American Advertising Awards were back in person. We are basically fully back to in-person events, which I personally love. I know it's been really great to see people get out of their houses and come celebrate people and just be a part of a community again, which, you know, we were all kind of lacking for 2 years. We also won 4 national club awards. So everything from, as I mentioned, JD earlier in the banana shirt. JD this past year at Admerica, which is the national AAF conference. Is it Chick Davis? Yes, it was like JD got it, he should know. The Chick Davis Memorial Award, which is presented to someone who has done contributions to the American Advertising Awards, which JD, as our awards chair, has done countless amazing things over the last couple of years to kind of help progress our awards, and more on that later. Guys, it's just a whole speech of teasers. We also had 1 student national Addie winner, Natalie Metzger. It's not the first year we've had a national student winner. Our students traditionally do exceptionally well in districts and nationals, and we're incredibly proud of them. Again, we make no money off of them, but we're incredibly proud of them. And the goal is to keep them around. But and then our team won 2 Ovation Awards, which again we call Club Sparkle. But we won a Communications and Membership and a Cornerstone Initiatives and Events. So incredibly proud of our board. And Cecilia and everybody puts together some wonderful submissions that I'm sure make us sound far better than we really are in real life. But again, our club, we're very proud to be able to bring those awards home every year and kind of stand up against a lot of different organizations that are also doing great work. We brought events to Youngstown and Canton this year. I know it sounds like kind of small, you're like, it's not that far away. But our footprint goes from Akron to Youngstown, Medina, and Canton. So it's kind of a very large area to ask people to come from Youngstown, go to Medina. You know, that's a hike. And so we tried very hard this year to spend our summer doing kind of like a tour, I'll call it, where we went to breweries in Youngstown in June, Akron in July, Canton in August. And got to meet some different people we hadn't met before, who aren't necessarily looking to come to Akron for events, but we got to touch base with them and it was incredible. Really big turnouts in both of those locations, so it was really fun to see them. So it's definitely going to be part of our continued outreach to kind of make sure everybody within our footprint organization, knows what we're doing, feels seen, appreciated, and just gets to hang out with us because we're awesome. Again, I do this selfishly so I have friends. We also did some outreach things. We had booths at Akron Pride this year, Kenmore First Friday, and Kent Connections. So those are just kind of ways for us to reach some people we might not be able to reach before. Kent is students. Kenmore First Friday and Pride, we met some amazing people that I think have joined since then. Even if it's 1 or 2 people, it's a day well spent for us. And we get to hand out so many tote bags. Man, people at Pride really like tote bags, guys. That's fine. It was amazing. I was like, take them all. Take every tote bag. They're purple and orange. They were big hits. And it means we didn't have to bring any home, which was also the most important part. And then we are working on renewing our partnerships with other organizations. Like Christine Meeker is here from PRSA. And hello, Christine. She's the president of PRSA, the Public Relations Society of America. And then also NSME, which is the National Sales and Marketing Executives. So we are partnering with them on our holiday event, Merry Mingle, which is November 30th. And then also, PRSA and things like, oh, there's a flyer on your table that I made you move away from that you can read later. But we're also working with them to offer partner membership rates so that you can attend their events at member rates, they can attend our events at member rates, but really just trying to bring together, you know, groups of people that are focused on the same things. You know, there's a lot of crossover between PR and marketing and advertising, you know, sales. We're all doing the same thing, we're all in the same boat, so why not partner together? We can all be friends, right? Most of the time, designers and salespeople can be friends. Most of the time. And then the Susan B. Kosich Fund. So this is our scholarship program. That you see this lovely sign over here for Susan Kosich. We have now officially been a 501c3 for a year, which is a really big move for us because it allowed us to apply for a lot more scholarship or like grants and things that so AAF-Akron itself is a 501c6. We're a 501c6 because we are a nonprofit, but we have membership dues. So a lot of times to apply for certain grants, certain monies, you need to be a 501c3. So we basically took our scholarship and put it as a different organization technically so that we can apply for things and help fund that. We did get a gold seal transparency from Candid, which basically just gives us a little credibility. You know, if people are searching for us online, they can kind of look at it and let people know, like, hey, we're a worthy cause, all the money goes where we say it's gonna go. Basically that kind of stuff. Cecilia's not pocketing it. I don't think.
At all.
Yeah, guys, we're broke, we're not pocketing anything. And then really cool, if you use Amazon, which, let's be honest, with the pandemic, most of us probably bought a lot of things, or just me. If you go to Amazon Smile, there is an option now where you can select the Susan B. Kosich Foundation as your charity of choice. So basically, that means every purchase you make on Amazon, you know, a small portion will go to Susan B. Kosich. It is a small amount, but still, I mean, it's something you can do without thinking about it. I shop on Amazon very regularly, and you know, I've already personally donated about $2.75. But every little bit counts. If everybody in here donates just a couple dollars through Amazon, you know, it all adds up, and that's really important. And again, it's a thing you don't have to really think about. It's money that, you know, you're not really spending, it's just coming from Amazon, which that's like all of Jeff Bezos' money. So we have $7,500 of $27,500 funded that we need to fund to get it endowed through the American Akron Community Foundation, which is in America. But obviously, so we're still a long way away. And basically, to be able to give this out and be endowed and kind of make it a full-blown scholarship, we have to hit that $27,500, which is very important to us, very important to Susan's legacy, and we hope that everybody not only can contribute, you know, as you buy tickets to things, or, you know, if you have Giving Tuesday is coming up, you know, if you're looking for somewhere to put money towards, we would love to be your recipient. But yeah, Amazon Smile is an awesome way to just kind of give little bits without even thinking about it. But I've told you enough about us, enough about you. I'd like to tell you about our Volunteer of the Year. This is an important award we give out because, again, everybody on our board, committees, everybody donates their time. Everybody is unpaid, so volunteering is a big part of who we are and what we do. So our Volunteer of the Year could not actually be here tonight, so we went to him.
Alright, he doesn't know it, but we are now about to surprise Mario with his Volunteer of the Year award. Let's go ahead and get into it.
What is this?
Well, hello,
What God's name is this?
How are you doing?
Good.
Hi, Mario.
How are you?
Great.
So, Mario, stop. Listen, we at AAF-Akron, yes, are proud to announce that you are the winner of our Volunteer of the Year award. And we wanted to present you with this amazing award. Wow, a six-pack, and some balloons. Thank you for everything that you have done from the real souvenir dosages, everything. Thank you for presenting AAF-Akron as amazing as it is. It's because of you who've been able to do so much.
Dude, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank
Thank you. And since you couldn't be at the annual meeting, we wanted to bring the award to you as a prize.
you. You are too kind. Thank you. Thank
So
you.
yes, there was no special project movie to put out today.
Sorry, I lied. You'll never believe me or trust me again.
For this? I'm kidding. Dude, you guys do not need to.
Speech.
Seriously. Speech? You don't put me on the spot here, okay.
Why have you done so much for us, for
Thank you.
AAF-Akron?
So I guess I have, I've done some. I've wanted to do more, but as everyone knows, everyone's busy these days. But man, I knew of AAF ever since I was at Akron. And you go to the Addies, everyone would talk about winning. So big reputation there, but this is a great way to meet movers and shakers in your industry, in the area, and there's some pretty nice people leading the team, leading the charge, so, just a little bit. So, and it's going to be around people that are in your industry and you can collaborate with and talk with, and it's an industry that's easy to get behind, so sign up if you have sales. That's free.
So I said he couldn't be here, but Mario Micale, who is the founder and principal of Narrative Digital Media, he has done everything from put together a video for Susan B. Kosich that we showed at the Addies a couple years ago, to creating the reel of entries that showed on the TVs at the Addies last year. What else is he live streamed this event last year for us. I mean, he's been on our communications team for a couple years now, and said he's always kind of there to help out with a lot of our video needs and stuff, which has been incredibly helpful over the years. So we gave it to Mario, so he, sends his kindest regards. But I mean, the 6-pack and balloons, we give like really good prizes, guys. We really went all out there. Cecilia knows how to treat the people. But we have more people to recognize tonight who are here, like outgoing board chairs.
Nobody told me this was happening.
I mean, you've been to these before. You should know when these things are happening. We want to say a very big thank you, if she could slowly make her way to the stage to accept her wonderful Melissa Olson, who is our outgoing board chair. Melissa has been involved since college, and so it's only a few years, since we're all at the very young age that college is very recently for all of us. But she has served many positions, including Addie chair, co-chair, she was vice president, obviously president, chairman, and now she is sadly retired. Only from this though. She doesn't get to retire from everything else. And I still call her regularly and say, would you like to meet for drinks? And then I just make her help me with AAF things. Because she'll never be gone. I won't let her. But,
Oh, it's upside down.
It's beautiful.
Oh, that's so nice.
in recognition of her time on our board, we have given her this lovely collage full of so many great memories. Everything from giving Janice a silver medal, highlight, I assume, to hanging out with Orbit the Rubber Ducks mascot. Also a highlight, I assume. But Melissa, thank you for all of your years of dedication. And I assume this will replace yours and Corey's wedding photo in your home. We also have our partner of the year. You want to come up here as well? So we're giving it to Formatech, who may not be a household name to most of you, but they were incredibly instrumental last year for us because they made these incredible TV stands that held all of the digital work that was displayed at the Addies last year, which was very cool because not only did it save us the time from having to literally lay out tables and tables and tables full of print work, which I'm sure you all have seen over the years, but it meant we got to show video and animation, and we got to kind of take our Addies into a whole different level, make it feel more modern and cool, and other places, other clubs that have seen these have even been like, oh wow, you guys did that? That was amazing. And we were like, yeah, we totally came up with the idea, not JD who works at Formatech and the people at Formatech. It was all us. This is Allison Boland, who gave us many titles for herself, so she knows the struggles, but we'll call her Logistics and Event Coordinator at Formatech. But she's here to get this wonderful trophy that I assume will go on every Formatech shelf. So thank you so much for all of your... Yeah, make sure your JD's shot is the best shot. So JD, who's our American Advertising Awards chair, works at Formatech, and so he was kind of instrumental of getting them on board, but the pieces they created, again, these TV stands that, again, it probably was, I don't even know how many there were, 6, 8, 7? Wow, it's good. I was like 6, 8? I don't know. But they were incredible because, like I said, they really allowed us to showcase work during the American Advertising Awards in the hallways that we haven't been able to before, which is very, very cool, and probably part of why JD then won a super cool national award as well. This is a gift that keeps on giving. But back to kind of AAF-Akron in general. What's next? What's coming up? What are we doing in the next year? These are our goals. As always, I'd say board succession is kind of a big goal for us, kind of making sure that we are stable as far as having chairs in all the positions for our committees, and then as well as having committees underneath them, teams that work underneath them to kind of learn the ropes and then hopefully become chairs themselves. Not for sitting on, it seems really weird. These people become chairs. So I'm watching you all sit on chairs. Sorry. But we're always looking for board and committee members to join our team. It's very important. We always look at it, there's a position for everybody, whether you want to commit an hour a month or you want to commit 10, 20, whatever you're looking for at that time. There's always a position that we can use you for and take your talents and make them useful to us because we're always looking for help. And secure the finances. So obviously through the pandemic, the Addies are kind of our big money maker, and there were 2 years where we kind of had a strange American Advertising Awards, and that kind of set us back a little bit. And so we're kind of working on getting ourselves back to where we should be as far as our finances. And obviously that means we're always looking for people to sponsor. Things like sponsoring events, if you want to do that, or we also have, you know, yearly type things where if you want to be kind of, what's the name of the presenting sponsored? I was like, it's like, wait, yelling all the way from the back. But presenting sponsor, which basically means your name is associated with everything we do for the entire year. Or custom sponsorships, you know, if there's something that you're specifically interested in, if there's something that you're like, oh, this really ties into what our company does, or like we really want to get in front of, you know, your whole group of people, like not only people who attend events, but we also have a pretty massive mailing list and social media following. So I mean, anything we can do to kind of work with you to make sure that you're getting the most out of whatever money that you're donating, we are always willing to work with you because we need your money. Thank you. I'm gonna say that like 4 more times, don't worry. So membership, there's a lot going on with membership stuff. We are getting a new membership portal. I don't know how many of you actually log on to your membership on a regular basis, but the portal is not the most user-friendly. It's not something that we necessarily built, that part of it, and it is not great. So they have revamped it, and Cecilia sat through a training on it and has told us all that it is far more friendly, easier to navigate, and hopefully will make everybody way happier and more comfortable logging on, making changes, and doing all that kind of stuff to your AAF database information and events and all that kind of stuff. We're also starting a membership points program. So basically what this is that everything you do to interact with us, whether it's attend events, update your information, you renew your membership, you submit to the Addies, you know, comment on a social post, something like that. All those things are gonna be worth points that we're gonna keep track of. And so basically just by attending this event right now, you are already ahead of everyone that is not here. But we'll send out information basically about what the point system looks like, but at the end of the year, it'll basically run from this event to this event next year, and there will be kind of tiers where there will be prizes and things that recognition for the people that are kind of extra committed to the organization, and we want to reward you for being committed and attending things and being present, because that is very important to us. And I said we'd get back to membership dues. So, for the first time in I'll say about 10 years, we are going to be raising our membership prices. Everything costs more these days. Everything costs more these days, including our accountant, the software we use. And again, I said, we make no money off students and haven't for a very long time. Yeah, basically, guys, Cecilia's currently not being paid, and that is a goddamn travesty. I'm sorry, I'll swear on this goddamn travesty. Because again, if you missed the slide where I said she's my rock and I can't do anything without her, and she's currently doing it for free, she's a saint. She's a saint. Because her position is supposed to be a pain. Yeah. I got into an argument last year with Cecilia where she asked me if I wanted tablecloths on the tables at the American Advertising Awards, and I told her if I had to choose her and tablecloths, I was going to choose her. However, we're far past that, and I can't afford to pay her right now, regardless of tablecloth status. But so, we are increasing all the membership prices. However, there's two good things about it. One, we are going to start offering a discounted rate for renewing. So if you're already a member, your fees will only increase slightly, but if you're a new member, for example, if you look at the box, for instance, like our professional membership is currently $145. It will be going up to $190. But if you're renewing, it's $175. So really that's a $30 increase. It's really not that much in the long run, but you know, for us it helps us basically, that increase helps us cover our dues to national. So then we can keep the $145 instead of giving, you know, a chunk of that away. So we'll be posting our new rates, but they won't take effect until January 1st. So basically, if you would like to lock in another year under the current rates, if you renew your membership anytime between now and January 31st, or December 31st, it will basically tack it on to your, like another year of your membership. So even if you aren't due for renewal until April, if you renew now, you'll get that price, but then it won't, it'll just add on to April, because we have a rolling membership. If you have any questions about it, please let us know. But like I said, basically after 10 plus years of not upping any prices, we kind of had to finally do it, and sorry, but not sorry. But again, it's really just to make sure that we put ourselves in a better financial position and that we can make sure this club stays a club and stays afloat and make sure beautiful Cecilia can get her small menial salary again, because I can't have her leave me. We also have our portfolio review, which happens in April, is coming back in person, which is an awesome event for us. Brings together a ton of students and professionals, lets the students kind of get their portfolios looked at, and allows professionals to meet a slew of graduating seniors and get to know them, kind of see who's out there for jobs and things like that. We're excited to have it back in person. Lenny, who is sitting right there, is been kind enough to come back and lead that kind of subcommittee, which is going to be incredible, not only for our board to not have to kind of worry about that, but he is a pro at it and knows exactly how to run a portfolio review. So we'll be looking for reviewers in the near future. So keep an eye out for emails and things like that, or if you're specifically interested in reviewing, let us know and we'll make sure you're on the list, because it's an awesome opportunity to meet students, or if you are a student, to meet pros and get your portfolio reviewed, which is always, I won't say mandatory from some schools, but usually it's mandatory. So, why not do it with us? And on that event in April, we're also going to be launching a mentoring program. Again, one of our big goals is to connect students and professionals, and that's obviously a huge part of that portfolio review event. So we're going to be using that to kind of launch a mentoring program that will probably last about a year for each mentor and stuff. So we'll be looking for people interested in mentoring, and then we'll be reaching out to students as well prior to the event to see who's interested in kind of being a mentee. Obviously none of this is mandatory type stuff for either side, but we just want to have the option that if people are interested in that connection, we want to provide it and be a space where people can come together, as always. Stay tuned for more, hopefully. And events. So, as always, our programs chair, Dave. Oh, there he is. Hello, Dave. Dave is putting on a wonderful calendar full of programs throughout the year. We generally try to meet once a month. Sometimes it's big things like this, kind of programs celebrated. Other times it's just a happy hour. Sometimes it's just, small things where we just want to connect with you, see what you're doing, talk about new work, what you're doing. You had a bad day, come have a beer with us, whatever. So it's kind of runs the gamut of those smaller, intimate happy hour events to these kind of big, the American Advertising Awards, that kind of stuff that's over the top, amazing, incredible, ton of planning. Can't do it more than once a year. Or can we? No, I'm kidding. I'm sorry, don't hurt me. But if you're looking to get involved, how can you? You can join the team. As I said earlier, we're always looking for committee members, and that is communications, programming, membership, education. I should probably know these better off the top of my head. But we're always looking for people who want to get involved. Or you can be a speaker. Some of our best speakers this past year have been people who reached out to us and said, hey, I've got this great idea for a talk. Can I pitch it to you? And we said, absolutely. And then they said, I'll do it for free. And we said, absolutely. But if you have an idea, if you have something you want to talk about, bring it to us. We love it. We have our Badass Women, which is amazing events. We've now done three of 4. Dave is, I was Dave is giving me hand signals from the back. Anything that's a professional development type thing, whether that's advertising specific or, as we go into other things where it's mental health or, getting out of a pandemic or things like that, just kind of how to build a career. It doesn't even have to be specifically an advertising topic to reach, a lot of the people that we have access to, because as marketers and advertisers and videographers and photographers and all that, it's a stressful job. Sometimes we just need some non-advertising talk. Sometimes. Or if you have a cool space, a new space, let us host an event there. Obviously, if we can get event spaces that don't cost us any money, it's great for us. If you can get people in your door, that's great for you. So it's kind of a win-win, and we're always looking for different cool spaces that we can either have happy hours or a tour. Let us see what you do. Let us show us what you can, your space, your cool gear. I don't know, whatever it is. I want to see it. And so does everybody else, I'm sure. Students especially, they love touring spaces, so please let us know if you've got a space you want to share. but the most important event of the year, the American Advertising Awards. We'll be right back here, just like slightly over there a little bit, in the Civic, again, because we asked. We were gonna move it, but we asked the people, and they said keep it at the Civic, to which I will say, please attend then. You all said you wanted it here. We obliged. We will pay to have it at the Civic, but it means we need you guys and your friends, your family, people you just meet on the street who you want to convince to come to the American Advertising Awards. It's great food. That alone is worth the price of admission, I think. But obviously attendance at events like that, as well as your submissions to the American Advertising Awards, are huge. It is our biggest event of the year, and so it's very important to us that we have participation and attendance and everyone's support for it, because it is how we make our money and a lot of how we get our recognition outside in D5 and national and stuff, because people are always impressed with the work that comes out of Akron, and we want them to all continue to see the awesome work that comes out of this area. But most importantly, every year has a theme, and I want you all to know how to dress appropriately for this year's theme. So this year's theme is Adchella. So we'll be doing a festival-themed Addy Awards this year. We're very excited. Anyone who knows Cecilia knows that she goes over the top and dresses for the occasion. Anyone that can beat Cecilia in their costume, I will personally buy you a beer, because I don't think you can do it. The people who created this wonderful theme for us, they are from Clever, which is an advertising agency in Youngstown. They were a partner for this, and they'll continue to create all the amazing postcards and digital work you see promoting this for the next couple months, but they are wonderful, and they made sure when they presented every theme to us, they provided Cecilia with appropriate outfits that she may or may not wear, and that did help us pick the theme, was costumes for Cecilia. But we're very excited about it. Like I said, there'll be plenty of stuff coming up. The awards are February 24th. Put it on your calendars. We hope to see everybody there, dressed to the, I want to say the nines, dressed in whatever weird festival things you want to dress as. And leading up to it, we will have info sessions as we have in past years, kind of, if you look at the submission forms and panic and go, oh my God, I don't know how to fill this out because it's not the most user-friendly. We will have multiple events in Medina, Canton, and Youngstown, as well as Akron, or reach out to us, but we'll be trying to come and see everybody before the awards just to kind of help with questions, and then also just really, I assume, try out outfits before we really make a decision for the 24th. Anything I've said tonight is obviously, if you have questions or want more information on anything, please reach out to us. There's tons of resources that we can provide you with for Mosaic stuff, or the Addies, or just national, again, governmental stuff, anything like that. We are more than happy to share resources from our level all the way up to national. We are here to be a resource for you today, tomorrow, whenever, because that's our job, is to connect you and be a resource for the whole ad community, because that's really important to us. Well, perfect timing, because I'm about to go like this, and we're going to talk about the Penny Award. So we are very excited to have this as our first annual Penny Award. For those of you old enough to know, before we had Addy Awards, our awards were called the Pennies. So that's what we used to give out for great advertising work in our area before we joined national and transferred over to the Addy Awards. So we thought it was very appropriate, as we were looking for a new award to give out, to name it the Penny Award, kind of bring back, it's named after a cyberling. Yeah. I was like, listen, when in doubt, everything in Akron is named after a cyberling, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. We opened submissions for about a month and got so many amazing people that nominated incredible talent throughout the area. And when we had to look at it, there were so many options, and we were so proud of the talent that was coming out of our area. Again, we're always so proud of that. But it was great to kind of read everyone's bios, and not only that, but read how bosses and friends and colleagues thought about the people that they work with, because it was incredibly impressive, and we got so many wonderful nominations, but we had to pick. And for us, it was Autumn's drive and dedication to the best possible creative product. And it's inspiring to watch and listen to people talk about Autumn and the work that she does. Everything she does for, her day job, Todd Biss Productions, is in itself impressive. But then also seeing everything she did with her Portraits of a Pandemic and everything that she accomplished while everybody else was kind of, it was a very dark time, and she brought a lot of light to some things that maybe people needed to see, good and bad, I guess. But we are very proud to have Autumn Bland Hudson be our first ever Penny Award winner.
I'm fortunate in the sense that I always knew what I wanted to do. I always knew that I wanted to be a photographer. I started studying it pretty young, however I could, disposable cameras, and developing my own film, and I eventually went to the University of Akron and got my Bachelor of Fine Arts in photography.
It's interesting when I heard about the Penny Award coming into existence, because I'm old enough that when I started in advertising, they were called the Penny Awards, not the Addy Awards. So to bring that name back is kind of cool. So when we heard about the Penny Awards and I read the description, I thought this would be very fitting of Autumn. She exemplifies all these things that they're talking about.
You meet people in the industry that you work with them and they just make your lives easier. They are on time, they are responsive, they make sure you have everything that you need. If something goes awry, they make sure it's fixed, right? You have those people in the industry that are just reliable and good at their job.
I love this work. I went to college for photography. I was thinking, okay, I'm going to be a wedding photographer. That's my option. I'm in Northeast Ohio, this is what you do. And then, as I took a few more classes and met Todd, who does commercial photography work, I was thinking, wait a minute, you can shoot this kind of stuff here? And there are billboards and magazines, international stuff.
I would say she kind of holds our team together a good bit. She's the person that helps us get our jobs completed and is very detail oriented with all the things that we need to accomplish.
Because of her expertise on the pre-production side and the attention to detail that she has on the production side, she's really able to make sure that everything is there that anyone on the crew could need, which ultimately elevates everyone's ability to do their job and elevates the final project.
I think that Autumn deserves the award. She brings a beautiful balance to being just an amazing person, but then also being a high level professional. She just does the work just because she cares about the work. Even starting the Portraits of the Pandemic project, she did that out of her heart.
I remember talking to Todd and saying, I don't know what I should do, and I have this idea to photograph just everybody. I can't. He said, you should just go for it. So I just started just texting and messaging anybody I could think of, nurses, doctors, firefighters, medics, and police officers, anybody. And then lots of people staying in different neighborhoods, different lifestyles, and I was like, okay, I think I got that first week around 40 different portraits taken. It was kind of crazy. And then I just launched a page on my site. I started an Instagram account, and then it blew up.
Anytime there's something difficult that's happening in the world, I'm always impressed with artists who are able to respond to it and respond in real time. And Autumn was immediately responsive to what was going on and started, taking advantage of the sort of problem of having too much time on our hands and people being stuck at home. To my mind, really reminiscent of the kind of work that was being done. I just included her in an exhibition of work like the great photographers working during the Depression and responding to that, looking at citizens who were in need or in need of building community and responding in a similar way stylistically and responding in a similar way in wanting to work toward, making her community a better place.
Just such a giving person, and I think, I don't know, I would want people to know that.
I think sometimes when you see people who are successful at what they do, we can start to believe that maybe just a lot of things were given to them or handed to them. We don't necessarily understand the amount of work that it took to get to where they are. And that's what I've seen in Autumn. She is just a person who does not quit, and she continues to work hard for everything that she's gone after, but not to the point that she neglects people and relationships. That's always top priority, and I love that about her.
She is one of the most selfless people I've ever met. She really has become an inspiration for us.
All right, well, Cecilia convinced me that I would say great things. It's this very kind way of talking people into things, which, yes. So, thank you so much for this. This is amazing. And there's not a real penny in here, which is a disappointment to my husband, I'm sure, as a collector of pennies. So I'm just gonna break it to him right now. I was super nervous, and I'm still super nervous about saying just thanks, but Todd reassured me that there would be no problems with this because we have nothing to compare with. This would be the best. This is the best penny award thank you speech that anybody has ever heard. So with that being said, I'd like to thank VH1, pop-up videos, Kodak camera, disposable cameras, and Tamagotchi pets. My creative path to photo and video production. And, but more seriously though, I just wanted to say, I know I work hard, but I love what I do, so it's a little different to think it's work when you love it, right? But it is a lot of work, and we all know that. Everybody in this room knows that what you do for a living it's important to love what you do, and I think that a lot of us are fortunate to have that, and there are a lot of people out there who don't have that. And I've worked for Todd since 2009. Just a lot of gratitude there. I'm stepping from this mic because it's eye level with me, so because I'm 5 feet tall. And obviously, thank you to everybody in this room, and especially my husband, who supports me and feeds me. Otherwise, I'd be just walking around with a bag of salami, and I wouldn't be functioning in life. And I just, thank you to everybody. Because I don't want to have to follow Autumn, and you've all been listening to me talk for an hour, I'm going to bring up my absolutely wonderful vice president, Garrett Black to conclude the evening for you. That's the appropriate response whenever Garrett enters a room.
Well, if you know me, you know me. And you also know that I am the biggest Browns fan known to Akron. But if I can just have, this is the interactive portion of this evening. If you have ever had a mentor or somebody who has inspired you to be a part of your field, raise your hand. That's literally everybody but one person. We have the Susan B. Kosich, right? I mean, she was on her phone. She was on her phone. It's okay. It's okay. But what I'm saying is, we have all had people who believe in us. We have all had people who want to see us push forward. We have all had people who want us to think outside the box. And as the only African American male to get Volunteer of the Year award 2 years in a row, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't get a 6-pack of beer, Cecilia. I got a 5th of Tullamore Dew, but with all that being said, we're here because what we are doing as an industry, what we are doing here as people that are trying to move forward, the things that we do, from the photography, from the video production, from the graphic and web design, this is all important to moving not just our industry forward, but moving this country forward. Because we have the responsibility to do the things the right way. And we have the responsibility to move it on to the next generation. Those people that are at the University of Akron, they're at Kent State, that are at Youngstown State University, they have the right to have us in their back pockets. So that way, when it's 20 years from now, when we're starting to retire, when we're moving things forward, they have the right to have us in their back pocket, so that way we can move this industry forward in a way that is not being communicated through multiple avenues. I'm not saying that as the vice president of AAF-Akron. I'm saying that as a human being who happens to be in the same realm. So what I am asking right now, I'm not saying, hey, JD or Corey, take your hat out and pass it around, because I am a minister and I will do that. And I will ask all y'all to put $1 in a hat and we're gonna move it around and we're gonna try to raise some money. But what I'm asking is, wherever your heart is, if it is donating to the Susan B. Kosich Foundation for our endowment, if you got a couple extra dollars, throw it in there. We're $20,000 short of being able to raise the money for people who are going into our industry to be able to project their life forward and have a running start. I don't know about y'all, I ain't gonna lie, and I ain't never going to skim off the truth. If you can name me another black person on the board of AAF-Akron, tell me. You can't.
We didn't know that you were on the board.
Exactly. You didn't even know I was on board. But you wasn't at the AAF, you wasn't at the American Advertising Awards TM for the past 2 years. But that's okay, because Flacco Torres said he is going to give us a brand new theme song for the Aggies. I'm playing. He ain't really gonna do that, y'all. He ain't gonna do that. Because I already owe him $250,000, so I can't do that. But what I am saying is, what we are going into, it's not a dying breed, but we have to encourage the breed. What we are doing, there are so many talented people. Look at TikTok, look at Snapchat, look at Instagram, look at Twitter, look at every single thing that we are doing. If you can't find a reason to support one person,
that is going into the field because half y'all can't even navigate TikTok the way these kids do. And it's only 40 of us in the room. And y'all can't do it. But we want to just be able to promote, and we want to be able to go forward so that way we can bring in more young women, more young men, more black men, more black women into our industry, because if I'm being totally honest, y'all, it ain't a lot that look like me. It ain't a lot that look like me and Brianna at the same time. But they're out there, and they don't think that this is a career that they can have. So what I am asking is, I'm not going to pass around a collection plate right now. But what I'm saying is, if you got an extra $20, go to AAF-Akron.com. Make a donation. If you know there's somebody at a university close to you, make a donation for them to participate in a seminar. If there's somebody close to you, make sure that they are at the portfolio review, so that way they can be with someone like Todd Biss or Autumn Bland or Cecilia Saveda or Brianna. Like, make sure that they are in the room, because every single person deserves a seat at the table. And if you give them the seat, they're gonna blow your mind. So this isn't an ask for money, even though we need it, because like Brianna said, we broke. I'm broke and I got more money than AAF-Akron. But I want every single person in here to know how important you are to the future of what we do. Every single thing from production to just running lines and cables. I mean, even if you think there's an ABBA concert happening next door, right? And although that's not the advertising and marketing realm, it's people that need to run cables, and they don't know about that. And we need to be able to present that to these people going into high schools, going into middle schools, going into elementary schools, and just going and inspiring them to do what they're already doing. So everybody in here needs to reach one, to teach one, and I would inspire y'all to go to somebody that don't look nothing like you and get it done, because those are the ones that are going to inspire the next generation of everything that we're doing right now. We are going to be the ones that give them the equipment to do what they're doing right now. If you think they're doing amazing things on a cell phone, imagine if you give them a really good DSLR. Imagine if you can find out how to give them a MacBook Pro. Imagine if you can give them a Creative Cloud subscription. Imagine if you can give all this stuff to these kids. And that is what AAF is about, especially AAF-Akron. It's about giving forward. We are a networking group. So if you don't know the kid and I know the kid, if you don't know the person that is graduating this spring and I know the kid, guess what? I can tell you who that kid is, and you may have a position open. So right now, it is that time for y'all to just pull out your phones and do what y'all gotta do and figure out how to inspire the next generation of our community when it comes to this profession, no matter what it is you do, because like Brianna said, advertising, sales, marketing, we're all in the same boat, and we cannot survive without each other. So I would just encourage everybody to go out and figure out who is the next person. Who's the next Autumn Bland? She's amazing. I cried at the study that she did through the Portraits of the Pandemic. I cried. It inspired me so much because I was doing my own book called Akron at Night, and I stopped it. And then your portraits reignited the flame in me. And so if it can reignite the flame in my old self, what can it do for the next person? And that's what we're trying to get here at AAF-Akron. How can we support each other? If you have a bad day with a client, guess what? We're going to meet at Akron and we're going to have a couple of beers and we're going to talk about it and we're going to figure out how to get through it together. But that's all that this is about. So as we close out this evening, it's been a long evening. We have had some beers. We had some big Uwees. I heard the food was amazing. Can everybody give it up for big Uwees right now? Can everybody give it up for every single award winner tonight? Can everybody give it up for our president, Ms. Brianna Kelly? Can everybody give it up for our EB, Cecilia Sveda? So I just want you to keep that in your mind. I want you to keep that at the forefront of your mind as you're going through. But we are actually going we're going to do the raffle right now.
We are.
So we got a raffle going on right now, and these are for tickets to the American Advertising Awards. As everybody's been saying Aggies,
Right.
it is the American Advertising Awards. TM.
If I can offer everyone advice in life, it's get yourself a vice president that is a pastor and an MC. And always put him after you. So we have 2 different certificates for 2 free admissions to the American Advertising Awards, which you've all heard so much about, and I assume your costumes are already planned in your head. So I'm going to let Garrick choose from our box of winners. Choose wisely. I don't know who he paid, who paid him.
Okay, so here's the thing. As advertising professionals, we have terrible handwriting. So Nathan Walsh, you have won the first, is that Walsh or Welsh? Or it's Nathan, I know that's your first name.
Does he have to be here to win?
He had to be here. He literally filled out the entire card.
I don't know.
All right, well next.
Poor kid's probably he probably picked a bad time to use the restroom.
That's not who I think it is it? Hey Corey, you won!
No, we just like
Alright, I ain't looking.
Alright, one more. Let's see who that.
Oh, that feels like a Noir creative card. Yeah, I won. Okay, once again, handwriting, guys.
It's fine. Tom Scott, your handwriting is beautiful.
It's not, but Tom Scott. I'm just saying, I hope that your pictures look better than this handwriting. I'm just playing with
Your
you.
handwriting looks great on your name tag.
I didn't write it, I asked Cecilia to do it.
All right, so before we get out of here, the last thing we want to mention, as was mentioned before, is Merry Mingle happening on November 30th. And if you do not know about Merry Mingle, there are literature that is all around the building, on the tables and everything. But this isn't a money-making event for us. This is our chance to give back. And the thing that I love about Merry Mingle is it's actually the reason I got involved with AAF. So a long time ago, I was working for an organization called the Youth Excellence Performing Arts Workshop called YPAW. And I get a random email from this woman named Cecilia. I have no idea who she is, where I'm sitting in my office as their marketing director. And says, we want to raise money for your organization. And this is what we are doing. And we were at Tangier, we brought the kids, and I didn't think nothing about it. I was like, hey, you know, it's a couple people trying to raise a couple dollars. Those couple dollars that were raised in that one event bought every single piece of drumline equipment that is being used to this day at the Youth Excellence Performing Arts Workshop. All the money that was raised through that event. And the organization that is being brought with us this year is Limitless Ambition. They are an amazing organization that is focused on doing the right things for the right causes for young women in our community, especially young women of color. And it's not a sympathy thing. It's like they literally deserve everything that they are getting. And they are going through tough circumstances and everything far beyond what any single person in this room could believe what is happening. But they have been a staple in this community for the past few years. And I want every single person in this room to make sure they are buying tickets for Merry Mingle, making sure that they are supporting Limitless Ambition, because when this happens on November 30th down at the Waterloo, I expect that everything that we made is going to be more than what could supply a drumline, and is going to supply a future for a young woman in this area to do the things that needs to be done, because we already know that women are the future. And now I'm dropping the mic.
Thank you everyone so much for attending tonight. On behalf of myself, our board, Cecilia, and all our award winners tonight, we appreciate you being here and we hope to see you soon.